Ten facts so interesting you'll kick yourself for not knowing them. There's no proof that sugar makes you hyper. Despite what your parents might have told you, there's no scientific proof that sugar makes you hyper. In fact, one 1995 review of studies on the topic that was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association concluded that sugar does not affect the behavior or cognitive performance of children, and that the strong belief of parents may be due to expectancy and common association. Since then, there's been no research to disprove that conclusion. There are only 18 minutes of action in the average baseball game. Baseball is all about building suspense. But if the pace seems rather slow to you, it's because there are only 18 minutes of actual action in the average 3-hour game, according to the Wall Street Journal. No wonder there's so much time for hot dogs and Dippin' Dots. 90% of your time at the stadium is spent waiting for something to happen. Farm-raised salmon is dyed pink. Unless you only eat wild salmon, then the fish you buy has likely been dyed pink. That's because farm-raised salmon consume a different diet than their ocean-dwelling counterparts and are naturally white instead of blush. In order to make them the expected color, a chemical is added to change their hue. If we didn't do it, customers wouldn't buy it, fish farmer Don Reed told Time magazine. Consumers buy what they're familiar with. They won't go into the store to buy white salmon. The word mafia is never said in The Godfather because of the actual mafia. The Godfather is all about the mafia, which is why it may surprise you to learn that the word mafia is never actually said in the film, and there's a good reason for that. Back in the 70s, when the movie was being made, those who were involved in organized crime weren't keen on the idea of a film that could make them look bad. Frito feet is the term for when your dog's paws smell like corn chips. If your dog's paws smell like corn chips, you're not alone, or rather, your dog is not alone. Frito feet is the weirdly apt term for this stinky situation, which is caused by the combination of yeast, which occurs naturally on your pup's paws, and bacteria, specifically Pseudomonas and Proteus bacteria, which arrive via soil and water, according to Colorado-based veterinarian Robert J. Silver, DVM. Don't worry, it's typically harmless. Tonsils can grow back after being removed. If you've ever had your tonsils removed, you probably assumed it was an experience that you'd never have to repeat. But as strange as it sounds, tonsils can actually grow back, according to the experts at Verywell Health. If your surgeon didn't completely remove all of the lymphoid tissue during your tonsillectomy, the procedure where tonsils are removed, then the tissue that gets left behind can regenerate. Cats and dogs can be allergic to humans. Unfortunately, some people are allergic to cats and dogs. But it's also true that some of pets find humans just as intolerable. It's rare, but dogs can be allergic to cat dander and people dander and vice versa, Raylan Farnsworth of Washington State University's College of Veterinary Medicine, told National Geographic. Ashtrays are required on airplanes even though you can't smoke. Everyone knows that smoking is not permitted when you board an airplane. After all, U.S. airlines started banning smoking back in the 80s. However, people are known to break rules, which, according to Time magazine, is why the Federal Aviation Administration requires ashtrays on all aircrafts. This is to prevent any rule breakers from using the lavatory waste bin, which is likely to be filled flammable tissues, to dump their cigarettes. Canada's lowest recorded temperature was colder than Mars. It's no secret that it can get mighty cold in some parts of Canada, but who knew that our neighbor to north could get as chilly as Mars? The lowest recorded temperature in the country's history happened on February 3, 1947, at Snag Airport, approximately 18 miles east of the Alaska-Yukon border. It dropped to a bone-chilling -81.4 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 1 degree colder than the -80 degrees Fahrenheit average temperature of Mars, according to NASA. If you were wondering, the average temperature on Earth is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Birds don't urinate. According to the National Audubon Society, unlike mammals, birds don't produce urine. Instead, they excrete nitrogenous wastes in the form of uric acid, which emerges as a white paste. The animals also don't have a urethra, so that paste leaves out their bums.